All right, Sean. So since the last time I've interviewed you, what else has happened? What else have you experienced?
Shortly after, I guess it was probably within a year of our last video, give or take. It may have been a year and a couple of months. I'd been coming down here to bring supplies down because I want to replace the deck off each side of the cabin here. And I was bringing posts down and things of that nature. And I had been in and out of the cabin probably about 4 times that year in the spring, late spring, just like every 2 or 3 weeks to a month, I'd come down and deliver stuff, things of that nature. And I'd come down one afternoon and I had delivered the post, and I was moving around the truck and doing different stuff. And, like I said, I'd been in and out of the truck on several different occasions, not knowing basically about the story this is fixing to take place. The following time I came down, it was in August of 2022. And I came down, and as soon as I got here, much like any other time, the first thing you got to do when you get out of the truck, because like if you're like anybody else, you're sitting there drinking coffee or whatever, water, soda, who knows. It's a 2-hour trip for me down here. So I got out of the truck and I really had to go to the bathroom. And I had messed around and unlocked the cabin, came back to the truck, was doing other things. And I was like, man, I got to go to the bathroom before I pee myself kind of thing, So I walk over here to this tree, and I'm sure Miguel will probably put it in the video up here, down here somewhere, in the link to the video, or he may actually put it in the video. I don't know how you're going to do it, but I'm going to send him the video of the actual event that took place because I recorded it that day. Well, this is real interesting. Today is August 22nd, about 2 in the afternoon. I just got down here looking around, pulled up, got some stuff out for the deer. I come over here by this tree. Last time I was down here, I was bringing down some posts to finish that deck. I'm going to go around the side of the cabin there. Walk up and I'm getting ready to go to the bathroom, and I see this in the tree. I don't know if you can see that. It's like a bungee cord. The bungee cord came out of my truck. There's a button on the end of it. And it's just hanging there. And I just happened to see it because I was standing here taking a leak right here by the tree. But that is one of my bungee cords, which is really weird. And I believe that's a button off something of mine. I don't know where it came from or when. I just find it really interesting. But anyway, I'm down here this afternoon, take a little walk around, see what's going on. If anything strange happens, I'll turn this back on. All right, y'all have a good day. God bless. But what had happened basically is I walked back down to the truck, realized that I couldn't wait any longer to go to the bathroom. I walk over here to this tree off to the side, and I'm standing there going to the bathroom, and I catch something out of the corner of my eye. And at the time, I didn't, realize what it was. It startled me, so I because it was right by my head. And I looked up, and what I was going to show you is I was standing there. And this is the strangest thing, and many people have talked about the strange occurrences that take place with Sasquatch and all the things. But this is one of those things that it really floors you when you think about it and you hear this story. So I'm down there peeing, and This is what is flipping around next to the side of my head. It was hanging on a branch, much like this here, kind of hung over, and it was hanging on a branch. And this portion was actually more like down here, because it was a small branch over here on this tree. And this much of it was like hanging down, and this was flipping around in the wind, and that's what caught my attention. And I don't know if you can see this or not. I'm sure Miguel will zoom in so you can see it. But this is a button, and there's relevance to this. And at the time, I didn't know there was relevance to it because I had forgotten about it. This is my bungee cord. This bungee cord came out of the back of my truck. I've got a sack full of bungee cords. I mean, there's probably 20 or 30 of them, and they're different sizes. And like I said, I'd been in and out of the truck many times down here before. And at some point, this had obviously dropped out of my truck. Okay. And I didn't know it. I had no idea. I mean, how are you going to find this on the ground out here in the, you know what I'm saying? I'll never see this on the ground, me personally, unless I was actually looking for it and I lost it. I didn't even know I had lost it. It had fallen out of the pack. This button is interesting for one reason. My wife sewed this on my pants, my work pants, when I worked on the railroad. And I wore these pants for several years. Then the button fell off. And they were just a pair of like old slacks, kind of like Dockers, you know what I mean? And that's what I wore to work a lot of times because they had a extra set of pockets down low, kind of like these pants here. And at some point, she had replaced the button on my pants, and I was out here. This button was swinging around on this in the wind, and I realized that I thought this was my button. This really looked like my button, but I wasn't for sure. I was like, what the hell? Why is that hanging there? You know, this don't make any sense. Well, I took it off the tree. I looked at it, much like I'm doing now, and I'm observing it, and I'm like, well, this is mine. But the button wasn't registering at the time.
So that's 100% sure your button that.
Without a doubt, yes. This came off that she sewed on, without a doubt. Yeah, 100%. And I didn't know it at the time because, you know, I had lost it. I don't know.
When did you realize that you lost the button?
After I'd left here one time, and it was back in the winter months. It was probably the fall before. I went home and I'm like, where's my button? I was going to get undressed when I got home, and the only thing holding my pants up was my belt and my zipper. But I was like, what the hell? Where'd I lose the button? And the pants were so old at that time, I was like, you know what? I've got my use out of these pants. I'm not going to use them anymore. I'm just going to throw them away because they were starting to get a hole in the crotch from me walking and my legs rubbing together and all that. So I threw them away, never really thinking too much more about it until she had said it when I got home. She goes, Sean, that's that button. And I said, what do you mean that's that button? She goes, that's that button off your pants. And that's when I was like, oh my gosh. And remember, like I told you, I left this here. I put this back on the tree branch when I found it. You know what I mean? Yeah. And like I told you, I had, you know, because I'm a goofy guy, and I'm like, okay, you know, smart guy. I'm thinking to myself, you know, I'm going to leave this here, and I'm going to do this here and fasten it through here to the other button, and I'm going to leave it hanging there like a necklace in the tree.
So whenever you were taking a leak, you looked over and you saw that thing swinging on a tree. It was on the bungee cord.
It was on the bungee cord, and it was flapping in the wind, and that's what caught my attention. I didn't see it till I got right next to it, you know, taking a piss next to the tree.
Yeah. And what are the odds that one of your neighbors way out here in the middle of nowhere would find a button and be like, I bet that's that guy's button. Let me hang it up on a tree. You know, normally people find buttons on the ground. They're like, well,
and we all know the answer to that.
Yeah. So something's letting you know that it was watching you, and you kind of took it as a gift, right?
Exactly. And the reason why is because, you know, there's some acreage here, you know, a lot. And where did I lose this at? I haven't got a clue. I don't know where this button was lost out here, you know? I would have never found it. But here it is on my bungee, on a tree that I'm getting ready to walk over to and go to the bathroom. That floors me to this day. You know, how did they know that I was going to see that? You know what I mean? That was like it was placed for me intentionally to find it, you know, which really freaks me out. And then to find the button in the woods, like I said, where it was at, I have no idea. I do not know. But here's the kicker. When you really put this all into context and you think about it, you gonna see that in the woods on the ground? Neither am I.
No.
You see what I'm saying? So something smelled my scent on this button and on this bungee, and they put these two together and they left them on that tree for me to find.
Yeah. And
So-
you've already had Sasquatch activity before you found that
gosh.
button.
Yeah. This is the location that I brought up last time, right out front here. The tree pushover the first time the wife came out to look at the property after we had purchased it. That had taken place here. Up here on the hillside is the other tree pushover that I told you about just yesterday. That happened in between these two time frames of when I filmed and when I found this. When that happened, I don't know. I just know it was cold outside and the tree was big. Because I walked up the path over to the neighbor's house, and I could see that that was the tree that had been shoved over because the ground was warm and it was cold outside. And the ground was warmer than the temperature outside, so I knew that was the tree. Because I went looking immediately. As soon as I heard it, I took off walking. And I found it right up the path here, going up to the neighbor's property. But this is also the property that I told you about with the coyotes. The last time I don't know when it was, because they had all kinds of run together now, but when the coyotes were sounding off that night, and whatever this was tried to sound like a coyote, it was doing a pretty good job initially, and then it kind of got deeper and more guttural, and I'm like, wow, that's different. That's not a coyote. And that's when it ended with the wow. That's when I ran.
Yeah.
I tried to stay. The whole fight or flight, I was fighting it. I really was, but I couldn't handle it. And I ran. I mean, I took everything out of this cabin, threw it in the truck, and I was up that hill in a flash. I was out of here quickly.
What's the time frame difference from when you heard and recorded that vocalization down on the Mark Twain to when you came up here to this property up north and experienced that vocalization? Was it months apart?
A year.
A year?
A year. Because that happened in March 5th of 2020, and this took place probably in, if I recall right, it was after hunting season. It was in the springtime of 2022 is when the vocalization took place here. So it was right at a year, real close to a year time frame, And I had just purchased this property. I hadn't been on and hadn't had this property but for a couple of months, maybe 6 months, when that took place out here.
Yeah.
Because I bought them fairly close together. One of them, the other property I bought in, I want to say it was late 2000 or the summer of 2019, and then this property was bought sometime in 2021, somewhere around there, late 2021. But I've had so much interaction at both places, and Miguel will probably leave it in the link, whichever way it goes here. I don't know where he's going to put it, but he'll probably put the other, the follow-up of the other recording of the howl that I recorded down there.
Yeah.
And I guess it'd be the north, wouldn't you consider that the north sector of the Mark Twain? That's probably the more northern area of the Mark Twain. A lot of activity, but I think Missouri has activity everywhere. I don't think it matters where you're at. It's just like there's so much forestry and national parks everywhere, and there's so much area for them to navigate. You know, the waterways and everything else. I think they're just all over the place. But I know for a fact they're here. And like last night, you know, we had some great interaction here. Miguel can testify to it. The first thing we heard was a large owl. And well, it wasn't an owl. It's, as we're commonly referring to him now, as Big Owl. It made somewhat like an owl sound, wouldn't you say? And it never made any follow-up noise. You even I told you to, you know, try to do the owl noise back to it to see if it'll respond.
Yeah.
And nothing. We got nothing till, 2.5 hours later, and it was down this direction. Mm-hmm. And those were actual owls. You could tell that those were hoot owls. What this was over here was not a hoot owl.
Yeah, it was unusual because we played the coyote locator call.
Right.
Then we did the mountain lion in heat call, mm-hmm. and the rabbit in distress call, and we came back down the hill, sat down by the fire,
right,
and then it hooted off. Yeah. We called it the 800-pound owl.
Right.
Big owl.
Big owl.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was huge. I mean, that vocalization was very, very loud. Mm-hmm. I mean, we both stopped in our tracks, and I seen the look on your face, and I was like, I could imagine the look on my face. I was like, what was that?
Yeah, which it could have been a real owl, like a full-grown one, huge, but
yeah, if he was 80 or 100 pounds, you
mm-hmm.
know.
Yeah,
but yeah, that was a very large and very loud call.
What got me was that tree break. It's hard to say if the audio recorder even turned on.
I'm hoping that audio recorder caught it. I really do.
It sounded like a good break to me because there was zero wind and.
Yeah, there was nothing out here last night. It was really quiet and a lot of movement.
I just heard it break. I never heard it hit the ground. Like initially you hear the crack and then smack, you know, like it hits the leaves and you can hear it.
So you're thinking it was just a break?
Yeah, just
like
a solid break.
Solid break.
Uh-huh.
Oh, wow. See, because I heard something, the tail end of it, like I told you, I caught it because you were like, did you hear that? And I'm like, well, I heard you startle next to the fire pit because you kicked the rocks, and I picked up the rock sound because it was so loud next to me. Mm-hmm. But you heard it, like you said, you heard it clear, you know, and I had the fire in between you and me, and that fire, it wasn't real loud, but it was a distraction because, you know, it was popping and doing the things that fires do. But yeah, that was interesting. And then all night we kept getting, there was a little action over here to the east, but it was really prevalent down here to the south and to the west, and basically almost directly west. That's where we got that big owl sound from right back here, right behind where Miguel slept last night in the tent, or in his hammock. But yeah, it was a great vocalization. It was a great night. I didn't know if we were going to get anything, but that's why I told you I wanted to get down here in the springtime, because I always have something at one, if not both properties in the springtime. Mm-hmm. It's almost like clockwork, you know.
What I find interesting is both your properties are right off the waterway.
Yeah.
So they could be traveling the waterways.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm sure they are. It's a fresh source of...
And obviously, like we've talked about before, the other location's better because that waterway never stops.
Yeah,
that is a constant spring-fed creek. Mm-hmm. And
you said there's fish in there too, right?
There are, yeah. But they're small. But I think in the larger pockets where it gets deep here and there, I think you got probably some pretty good-sized fish, you know. Mm-hmm. But mostly, it never stops. That's the key component there, I think, and it's a continuous source. Yeah, and it's crystal clear.
There's other things like mussels and crawfish, things like that.
Yeah, there's other sources of food in that creek, you know. But yeah, it's a very desirable area, but this is too, you know, as well. I mean, there's a lot going on out here, and there's a lot of woods. Mm-hmm. I mean, you've seen it, like this cattle farm that's next to us. It's got to be 1,000 to 2,000 acres of cattle farm. Mm-hmm. You know, and there's literally nothing but pasture just to our east, and a lot of woods to the south, and probably, I don't know, 10 to 15 acres of woods directly to our north. and I don't know how much is off this way. There's quite a bit.
Yeah.
So that wouldn't have been where we got the noises last night. It was actually to the northwest that we were getting that from, because this is the south behind us over here. And that's the west, that's the east. So it was to the north. It was like coming up the creek.
Yeah. How do you think the Sasquatch got here? What do you think they are?
Well, like I said before, and I've always felt this way, they're a native people. They have been here, as we discussed last time, for thousands and thousands of years. That's my take. They're extremely intelligent. They have the ability to do things, and it's been my discovery, like we talked about last night. I merely did mind speak to see if it was a thing. And the next time I came out, all those trees down there were pushed over. So there's more to it. I mean, you go from being like we've discussed before, like, you kind of get into it. When you do, you're kind of wondering, like, is this possible? You have that wonderment, you're like, I don't know. You're kind of a skeptic. You're on the fence. You're back and forth. And, I've got to the point, I've never seen one, I'll put it on record. I have never, ever seen a Sasquatch. But I've heard them, and I've recorded them, and I've had many interactions that lead me to, believe that they are real. They do exist, and I'm a knower at this point. Many people would say, well, you can't be a knower unless you've seen them. Well, I beg to differ. What we experienced last night, there's nothing in these woods that can make that loud of an owl call. You heard how deep that was. That was very, very loud. That's not a human. I cannot produce that. You can't produce that. So I come to the point in the realization, several years back, that they are real, that they are definitely in Missouri. They're all over. Any given day, I'm sure you can, cross the path of one, just like you could a bear or a cat, because they're out here. They're just as prevalent as anything else is. They're just a lot more crafty than everything else. They choose their movement. I don't think they hardly move at all during the day. Personally, I think it's something that they have learned over time, just to strictly be like big bucks do, go completely nocturnal and stay nocturnal, no matter what. It's almost like an unwritten law within their kind, that you don't move it in daylight unless it's absolutely necessary. You do not move. You'd never give up your location, kind of thing. And that's what I think they do, and that's why I think they've remained unseen for so many years, and you only catch glimpses of them here and there, and you'll get a sighting from time to time, because they strictly they don't move during the day. They stay low, They get to a place and they stop and they rest and they stay there, I feel, for the rest of the day, kind of thing.
All right, we're at an undisclosed location, and we're out here with Sean. He's been on the channel before, and we're gonna try to get some action out here at his cabin. Pretty nice cabin that he has way out in the middle of the country, and I'm excited to be out here. We're starting a fire. We're getting ready to go look out in the woods before it gets dark, and I'm gonna show you guys my little setup. It's the same setup that I usually have. I have the Stug Pack hammock, the sleeping bag, all of the gear, the parabolic microphone, the game collar, the Everly stock backpack, and just all the gear I need to create content and look for Sasquatch. But yeah, we're gonna have a good time out here, and hopefully we can find something out in the woods. The goal is to have something come up to the cabin and experience some action. I brought the night vision, the thermal as well, so there should be something that happens tonight. Sean's had some experiences out here. You heard a vocalization after the coyotes went off.
Yeah, vocalization, and then had the tree push over right here on the other side of the cabin with the wife here. There's been all kinds of stuff going on here. The big thing is, and I'll tell the story later on, is what took place Probably about 6 to 8 months after we did the last video. That little occurrence with the tree over there. But we'll get into that later. I don't want to get into it now because we won't be able to walk. It get too dark on us before we get the walk in.
Yeah.
But we can even do it later when it's dark, or we can do it tomorrow even.
Yeah, that sounds good. The word is the copperheads and ticks are out, so we'll have to watch out for that. And we're going to cook some food tonight, and we know the little critters are going to come up. Hopefully that'll get the Sasquatch's attention. Who knows if anything's around? If anything, we're just going to camp and have a good time and catch back up.
Yeah, that's the whole thing about all this is to see, because I always have so much activity during the spring, you know, and here it is March. What's today's date? 15th, 16th?
Yeah, like the 15th.
And that's usually when I get a lot of activity that starts kicking off at both properties. And it seems to be the same with the fall time. You know, and there's water here in the creek, you name it.
Is there always water running in that creek?
If it's not running, you can't see it. It's underneath the rocks.
Okay.
So it is always moving because the guy that owns this cattle farm over here, it runs through his property, and those cows are always drinking out of that creek because it runs to his property. So it goes through the rocks. Even though I can't see it, I can walk to the edge of the property, and there'll be a pool of water. You know, so it's still moving. I just can't see it moving. But I think when it gets real dry in the summertime, July, August, I think it does pretty much dry up, though.
Yeah.
It's a wet weather creek.
It's a nice area, though. It was a long drive to get out here.
It was.
Yeah. I forgot how far it was. I was like, dang, this is out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, it's straight up out in the middle of nothing.
Yeah, the boonies.
The boonies. That's the way I like it.
Yeah.
When that sun goes down over that hill over there, things are going to change around here pretty quick, like they always do. I mean, I've had interaction as early as 7, 8 p.m. in the evening, and later, quite a bit later. But I've had it early, like when the coyotes go off. You know, as soon as they start sounding off, something in these woods completely changes. It's just like a switch. And you know, the neighbors got dogs, and they're big dogs. I mean, those dogs their heads are up over my waist.
Is that what we were hearing?
That's what we were hearing. Yeah,
those are big dogs.
That's a big dog.
Sound like a bear out there.
He's they're both black, so they're bred with lab, but I think it's that one that everybody uses, that all white dog.
Yeah, they kill coyotes.
Yeah, and they are huge, and I mean they are not intimidated by nothing.
I've noticed a lot of those big white dogs out on farmland, and I guess that's the reason people use them to keep coyotes.
Yeah, keep coyotes and everything off off their animals. They're because he's got goats, and this guy here's got cows behind us. So I think that's over 1,000-acre cow farm. So yeah, they got stuff everywhere, and the bone field. We'll look at that tomorrow when we got more time. That's right up over here. There's got to be 40 or 50 bones laying out there on the ground.
Yeah, I remember that last time.
Always bones on the ground.
Yeah.
I think he probably brings those cows up here, if he gets one that's sick or something, and they just, guide them up here and pretty much they die, and I think the coyotes and everything just feast off of them.
Yeah. Where should we head? Where should we set up the audio recorder at?
I think down by the creek.
Down by the creek.
Yeah,
okay.
I think, probably within 25 to 50 feet of the creek.
Yeah, a little bit higher up so we can catch everything all around the area.
Yeah.
But if we get it too close to the creek, you'll be able to hear that running water and you won't be able to hear external noises.
And we'll find out here in a minute if it's even running.
Yeah.
That's the big factor because I don't know if we've gotten enough rain at this location. The ground's wet. It has rained within the past probably 72 hours, but I don't know if it's enough to fill that creek up or to have it moving.
Okay.
So
the fire should be pretty good now.
Yeah, I think we're good. That and I want to get going before it gets too crazy. That's one thing I forgot was my headlamp.
So I had a spare too. I got mine, but
yeah,
we'll have to see what else. What else I got? I might have something else.
Let me grab my beer real quick.
Yeah. If you want to get your chair out, well, I guess you'll be able to see.
I'll be able to see it.
I think I got my O light too. So.
You know what I am going to do? I'm going to put the food up here on the porch, just to distract anything from possibly trying to get to it. Yeah, we'll just take off and walk down here.
Okay.
Go out, and you going to bring that with you, or are you just going to
Yeah, I'll bring it with
Okay. Was right up on that hillside right over there.
you. You heard the tree get knocked over?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And it was huge. I mean, it was like this big around, you know, and it was dead, but something pushed it over. I walked over there, and when I got over there, it was really cold outside, but I could grab the dirt, and the dirt was fresh, and it was, you know, it was warm. The dirt was warm, and it was cold outside, but it had just been pushed over, and I was sitting here, and I was in the process of getting things ready for deer hunting, and that thing it pushed it over. I mean, it got my attention like that.
Yeah.
So it's actually happened twice here, two tree pushovers. So
I've never been here in the summertime. I bet it's thick.
it is, and the ticks are terrible.
Oh, I bet. That's what I was thinking about earlier.
Yeah.
It's like the ticks have to be horrible because there's nobody out here.
No. And it seems like anytime you have livestock around, like these cows and his goats and all that, it seems like the ticks are just even more abundant because they have something to eat on all the time.
Right.
Not to mention the deer, you know.
I hate those things.
Oh man. I am not a fan of them at all.
No. Wonder how the Squatch deal with them. Maybe throughout the clan, like they pick each other like monkeys.
I guarantee it.
Yeah.
They have to groom each other,
Oh, I'm sure.
you know.
And they are well groomed.
Oh,
I mean,
yes.
not all of them. Some of them are pretty mangy. But
Well, yeah, you'll get the ones that are isolated, you know, that have been cast out of the group setting, you know, maybe because it's a young juvenile male or whatever, you know. That's the one I think that people always talk about, the skunk smell or whatever. It stinks, and it's because, like most men and most people, you know, that we don't clean ourselves as well,
Right.
you know, as opposed to when we have a spouse, you know.
I'm sure they bathe. They're always found by water.
Always found by water. Yeah.
Water apes.
Yeah, I think they're more water apes than they are even wood apes.
Yeah.
You know, but I don't think it's an ape. I think they're a much higher level of intelligence than even you and I. I really do.
I think they have something to do with the underground bases. And people say their argument to that will be like, well, they've been around since the time of the Indians. But you hear these conspiracies of like time travel and portals. It's hard to say.
Yeah, and then
what
like
they've done.
even Ron Moorhead had mentioned, I'd watched that video here recently actually, that you know, him believing that there's you know, another level of another dimension that they you know, possibly exist within that we have no idea about. You know,
They say as above, so below. And
yeah,
there's got to be something going on underneath us.
exactly. And it looks like there's water in the creek, but it doesn't look like it's flowing a whole lot.
No.
Yeah. Well, we got a place to wash our face tomorrow.
Yeah, that's good.
That's always good, you know. So it is flowing, but it's ever so slight. But yeah, we got water in the creek. Usually in the springtime, like in the next month or two, this thing will be really getting it. Mm-hmm. I mean, it'll be really rolling.
Yeah. Where do you normally see the big bucks at? You said right over there?
Right over in here.
Okay. That might be a good spot.
Along that fence line.
As long as there's a main trail,
Yeah.
they might come through here looking for some deer.
Yep. There, and for whatever reason, they love to run that fence line up there where all the livestock's at. Yeah. It's like they all travel the same corridor.
Even the stay close to water too.
They always stay close to water. Yeah.
Keep an eye out for sheds.
Yeah. Yep. That's what I was out here
horns.
3 weeks ago doing. That's what I was doing, was looking for sheds. Mm-hmm. Yep.
They're hard to find.
They are hard to find. I need to get one of them dogs. Those guys get those dogs that hunt the sheds. Mm-hmm. They seem to find like 20 or 30 of them every spring. It's like, dang, those dogs they're good at finding those things.
Yeah. It'd be cool to have a dog to look for things for you.
That's why I always walk the fence line, because those deer jump that fence, and when they jar and hit the ground, they fall off.
Yeah, that's what I do. I walk the fence lines and walk the major trails where you can see they've been walking. And you'll run into like where they've been rubbing trees, and then you'll find eventually some deer rubs.
Yeah.
Or horns.
Now this area is interesting, and you can kind of pan the camera around and show them. I guess it was about a year ago. I was venturing into this whole thought process with the mind speak thing. And I came out here and I had done a little bit of gifting. And I just merely stated in an off the wall, more or less than anything else, just to see if there's something to that process of mind speak. Mm-hmm. And I didn't say it out loud. I just said, well, if you guys are here, and I said this in my mind, like I said, I didn't say it out loud. Give me a sign that you're around, because I wanted some kind of confirmation. I hadn't had anything in quite some time. The next time I came out, this is what I seen. You can pan off there to the left.
All the destruction?
All the trees. None of those trees were down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I
None.
remember it being open grass.
Open.
Yeah.
And everything on this hillside seemed to get pushed over, in all different directions. We can walk up in through here. I mean, it's thick. They just pushed everything down, I haven't messed with any of it. I haven't changed anything, haven't cut firewood off of it, haven't done nothing. It is what it was a year ago when it happened. And it just floored me. I was just blown away. I was like, there's something to this. There really is something, because, no one would have known I'd done that. I didn't tell anybody I did that until you're hearing me right now talk about it, because I wanted to see if there was something to it. And there's the proof. That this floored me. This really got my attention. That's when I knew. I was like, okay, because you're always questioning yourself. Even after you've had other experiences, you're still always questioning yourself like a skeptic. Like, is this really happening? Can this be true? Blah, blah, blah. And yes, it is. Yeah. It's been my observation the whole time that it's a continuous thing, and like you said, there's so many rocks here. I don't know if any of these, I like how you always walk around and pick them up and see if there's anything underneath them. I think that's kind of cool. Like, how'd that leaf get underneath there? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like you said, it's like, how did a leaf get underneath a rock if that rock wasn't thrown and landed here at some other point?
Yeah. I've also contemplated, is that turkey, possums, or armadillos doing that?
Yeah,
then I found 20, 30-pound rocks, like big ones, on top of fresh, crunchy leaves. It's like, okay.
Well, it's like that right there. Do you even know what that is? Do you see that? I have never seen this before. Is that from a tree? You see this?
Looks like Ferrero Rocher chocolate.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Feel how light that is. It's like a puffball.
It is.
I don't know what that is.
I wonder if it's like spiders that do that, or if it grows on the tree itself.
I don't know if this is a cocoon or what it is. It's got one small hole in it right there.
Yeah.
No, there's another one there.
Boy,
that is like, it's like light. Look at that.
Yeah.
I've never,
cool.
Yeah, I don't even know what that is, or what kind of tree that comes off of. Well, or for that matter, what kind of mold spore it is.
Yeah, chances are some big storm rolled through here, or your request
was answered.
Yes. I guess.
Yeah.
Some type of confirmation anyways. Because we walked through here looking for sign, looking for anything.
Well, and this is the area up here that I used to gift at, is right up over here.
Yeah.
And I've since realized that's really not a good idea. The more and more I talk to people that are doing this type of research and looking into all this stuff, that's really not a good thing to do, because they kind of come dependent upon it, kind of thing. Yeah. And they associate you with food. Yeah. And that's not what you want to create.
Right.
And as soon as they said that, and I went, yeah, I don't know if I like that or not.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's
that guy that thought he was friends with grizzly bears. He was out there sitting with them, filming them, and one day they decided to eat them.
Yeah. I'm hungry.
Yeah.
And guess what? Today, your lunch.
Man, that's horrible.
But look at that. That tree was alive. Uh-huh. None of these trees were dead. This one was, obviously, is all the bark's off of it. But it just blew my mind. I was like, oh my word.
Maybe somewhere around here we should hang audio.
Yeah, it would be a good spot. Matter of fact, we could probably get it up higher, like right there, you know.
Yeah, I'll let you run the camera.
Yeah, let me hold on to that, and I'll just sit here and hold it real steady and let you get up there. Be careful. You want to go to your left? See that tree to your left, or that branch going up?
Oh yeah.
It's like a perfect piece.
I don't know how well my balance is.
Yeah.
This tree's kind of
We don't want to film you falling.
Why not?
I know a lot of people would find amusement in that, but that would not be good. Miguel, why do you get... Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Why do you got that stick out of your head?
Right. So on this branch?
I think so.
Okay.
You see where it Y's up there, right near the top? That's where I would put it. If you can reach up there, you know?
I didn't drink any beer. It's just like this tree's
Oh, it's wobbly.
wobbling.
Yeah. There you go. That's where I'd leave it.
Yeah.
That's a good spot. Got to make sure it stays in there, huh?
Yeah. Whoa. Yeah, this thing's getting ready to...
Yeah, it's getting ready to break.
All right, cool.
Yeah. There we have it, folks. We're probably within, I don't know, 50 to 100 feet of the creek. Here you go, Miguel.
We'll zoom in on it.
Yeah. Would you look at that? How does that get pushed over, man? With that rock in there, you gotta look at the size of this, like shale rock, like sandstone. It's like...
Maybe the roots grew around that rock.
It had to, but my thing is for this to fall, this had to break.
Yeah.
I mean, that's wicked. That freaks me out. I mean, look how many rocks are laid up in there. I mean, I cannot pull that out of there for nothing.
Yeah, it's
my ankle. My ankle needs a pop.
You ever found any arrowheads out here?
No. But I haven't looked.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh. I have that recorder set up for 7 p.m. and it's going to turn off at 3 a.m.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Could have left it till 4 or 5, but normally the woods gets real quiet that time.
Right.
So I figured I'd save some battery just in case we needed it for later.
Yeah, you can span off that way and show them kind of so they get the idea where the edge of the property is.
Yeah.
It's right here for climbing for deer season.
Oh yeah.
All three of these look really good to me. This one leans it too much, but that one and that one would work really nice, especially overlooking this creek.
Yeah.
It's so pretty when the sun's going down in the canopy. I love that. That's so far out.
The trees are starting to bloom.
They are.
Dogwood trees are growing flowers.
Yep.
It's a good time of year.
It won't be long. We'll have morel mushrooms popping.
Yeah.
You know. I bet you we're 2 or 3 weeks out. Because someone was telling me the other day that Kentucky's getting them already.
I heard they're growing in Potosi.
Really?
Yeah.
Was that 20 miles from here? Maybe 30 as a crow flies? This is why I love the property.
Because sandstone right there.
When this gets flowing, this is like a little waterfall, and this pulls up right here. I've bathed in that. I really, yeah.
Yeah.
On more than one occasion, I've sat in here with Meyer soap and cleaned my head and my face and felt brand new again.
That's limestone.
It is. Yep. It's green. See how look at the green down there?
Yeah.
Last year, none of this debris was here, and there was like a whole sheet of green rock. It was really cool. Yeah, let's see if we can make our way up towards the field and get up. We might be able to get to the
boneyard?
The boneyard.
Yeah.
Before it gets too dark. Oh, yeah, it's slick. Wow. think that's a beech tree. Not sure. Do you know what that is?
That's a dogwood.
Is that? Oh, it is a dogwood. Yeah. Yep, sure enough.
We're losing camera light.
Are we really?
Yeah. For some reason it looks dark. I don't have any of my filters on, but I have it on auto.
We do have battery. Don't tell me we're losing battery already, are we? A lot?
No, we're at 89%.
Good.
I got extra batteries too.
I've never noticed that. It looks like it's been there for a long time, but I never noticed that bend right there.
Yeah.
But I'm usually walking through here like you said in the summertime with all the foliage on.
Yeah.
You know, trying to pick ticks off of me. Trying to sneak up on this buck that I knew was on the property. And I'm like, he must not be here. And I didn't take 2 more steps. And he busted on me and jumped the fence and jumped the creek down further out in the open pasture. I was like, oh my God, and when he jumped, he scared me to death. I was not expecting him to.
How close did you get to him?
30 yards.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was right down in the bend of the creek and he was like bedded right on the edge. And as soon as he busted, he was within 5 feet and all I seen was his tail end, and over the fence he went and he was gone.
Pretty big rack?
Yeah, he was 12 point. Oh, man. Yep, he was big.
That's how it works.
Mm-hmm. And I just sat down on a log.
Yeah.
What else you gotta do?
Maybe wait for the next one to come in.
Right. I didn't think he was in there that morning.
Yeah. Yeah, it fell and...
It fell on it. Yep. That's cool. That'd be a good seat.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Just set a cushion on that and watch this fence line, you know?
It's an outdoor toilet.
I never put that, and then there's that. Yeah, I never even thought about that. There's water down in it too. It's holding water.
That farm is huge.
Oh, it's immense. I mean, it is so immense. I think it's 2,000 acres. I really do. Yeah. It's between 1,500 and 2,000. And it might be more. It's just huge.
Mm. That thing got wedged perfectly in there.
Huh?
That thing got wedged perfectly in there.
It did. Yep. And it's been there a long time.
Yeah.
One of my favorite spots. I love this.
Yeah.
This is a big reason I bought the property right here. It's unbelievable, the view out across there. You know, you get up on this hill and it gets even better, but it's just so pretty across there with all those open pastures for those cows.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's 100, 150, 200 head of cattle. He's always moving them. You know what I mean? Moving them all over the place. They were up here, like when I was here 3 weeks ago, they were on this piece right here. Because they were up here, I could see them from the cabin. They were up on this hillside.
What is it?
It's the cabin.
Oh, yeah.
You can look off to the right there. Oh. That way they can kind of get an idea how secluded the cabin actually is. Would you look at that? Look how old that is.
Oh, yeah, that's old.
Isn't that neat? It's old.
Yeah.
That's wild.
I guess the idea is we walk around the woods right before it gets dark. And maybe it'll...
Yeah, we're hoping that they...
Get their attention.
Yeah, we get their attention. That's the goal of this whole walk, is to be visible.
Yeah.
Oh, we made it before it got dark.
The bones are still here.
It just baffles me. They roll down the hill. They even roll onto my side. It's just nuts. Oh, there you go, Miguel.
What is it?
Our turkey feathers. 2 of them.
Yeah.
I wonder if the camera picked that up. Was that a dog barking?
I don't know. I heard something. I think it was a dog barking. Yeah.
Turkey. Yeah, it's a dog. Look at the size of this thing. It's like a scapula or something. I don't know what that is. It's old.
Yeah.
That's wild looking. Oh, that's a good tree knocker.
It is.
Wow.
Scraper too. Buck rubbing, man.
Yeah. Wow.
Do another one. Yeah, that really is a good tree knocker.
That is.
Did I do that on the last video? Or?
I don't think so.
Okay.
No, I don't believe so. I would have never realized that or even thought about doing that.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can see them. You can span back that way. It's down. They're rolling down the hillside. There's so many bones. I hope we find a deer shed. That'd be great. Yeah. That
Bam,
thing,
bam.
Yeah, exactly. All those work well, don't they?
I do. Try to find a bigger tree. Oh, wow.
Wow.
That tree's hollow.
Wow. Dang, that is a great tree knocker.
But yeah, I mean, this is a boneyard. Best believe that predators are traveling through this area every now and then to check what's out here. If they get used to it, you know what I mean?
Oh, sure. Yeah, I mean, any given year, you know there's going to be a cow or two that dies from some sort of sickness. I don't think that was here last time we were up here. Do you remember that vertebrae being up there? Right there to your right? I don't remember seeing that one. I think that might be from this year. I don't know. We'd have to go back in the film, the archives, and look at that, see if that was there.
Not really sure.
They are all over this hill. I mean, I've crossed this fence and I've walked up there, and they're still up there too.
Really?
It's this whole hillside down here. And obviously the water washes them down, or something does, or they roll down. Heck, I don't know. But there's a lot of them.
The bugs are going off.
Mm-hmm. And the frogs. I can hear the frogs in the pond over there.
Oh, that one looks like it was put down.
Oh, wow.
How does that skull get over here?
Is that like a bullet hole in its head?
Yeah.
That's what that looks like, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that looks like that was shot. Yep, right in the top of the head.
Yeah. Look at those teeth.
Oh my word. Good thing they don't bite people.
Right. Maybe they do. I know horses do.
Oh,
Never
gosh,
heard of
yeah.
cattle biting people. Horses are stubborn though.
Isn't that wild? Look at that tree right there, Miguel, at the base of that tree over here.
Yeah, I was looking at that. It's got like a growth on it.
It's like a growth.
People use that to like make tables. Apparently
Right.
it's got really cool patterns on
Patterns, yeah.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people in the craft industry do that too. They'll cut them and slice them, and they'll use them and like put flowers and everything in them and make picture frames out of them.
it. Yeah.
Another vertebra.
Yeah.
Yeah, this little creek right here in front of us, it's definitely a wet weather, but when that pond overflows out of its banks because it's getting water from further up the hill, it flows down through here and goes to my creek.
Yeah.
It goes over there.
You know what I mean? Looks
Yeah.
like the top of the Sasquatch.
Top of the Sasquatch's head, yeah.
You want to put that on your head?
No, I don't.
Call them out. That's cool. Though. Does that pond hold water?
It does, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna walk right up to it. Isn't that cool?
Yeah, that is cool. Found some iron.
That is far out.
Yeah, it's heavy.
It's heavy, heavy. I mean, that thing is like, Could you imagine somebody throwing this at you? This is heavier than a...
I'd kill you.
Oh my gosh. That thing is like... I bet
Solid.
that's 1.5 pounds, 2 pounds.
Yeah.
I mean, if I can grip that and I could actually throw that, I'd probably throw my arm out of socket. But yeah, I can't even believe. I've never seen iron on the property. I've seen a lot of other stuff. That's the first time I've seen that. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
The deer walk up through here. I was going to show you. Oh, it's this tree right here. Look at that. Twisted.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's got a good twist to it.
That's really twisted. Yep. Now, I mean, a buck could have done that, I guess. But I don't know if that's deer sign or something else.
I know I couldn't twist it like that.
Oh, heck no. Here, those dogs are loud. I hear something.
Yeah, there's something in that brush. Either a bird or a little rabbit.
Oh, it's a bird.
Okay.
Yeah. That's my neighbor's place. That little cabin.
That's pretty cool.
It is. It's a neat place.
Yeah. Yeah, you can see where they've been rubbing the trees.
Oh, yeah.
I guess on the outskirt of the
Yeah.
food plot.
Yep. And what the heck is that? I've never seen that before. That tree got pushed, or it blew over.
Yeah.
That's the first time I noticed that. That wasn't like that last time I was here. But I sat up in that tree this year. I'll never do it again.
Really?
It curves too much.
Oh yeah.
I figured out after I got up about 12 feet, I was like, this sucks. I sat there for 4 hours. I got out of that stand. I felt like somebody beat me with a 2x4. I was like, oh my God. It's like, I'm not doing that tree again. But I wanted to sit over that water hole. So I climbed up in it, you know, so I could see it from every direction. And of course I didn't see anything. But yeah, we've gotten some rain. You can see how moist the ground is there. There was some rain within the past couple of days for sure.
Those dogs are going nuts.
Yeah.
We've been hearing some strange sounds over that way.
And that's where we were walking at.
Mm-hmm.
Coyotes. That one's a coyote.
Maybe we need to do like some calls or possibly use the game call.
Yeah, well, let's wait till it gets dark.
Yeah.
When it's fully dark, and then we'll just like do short spurts of it and turn it off.
Okay.
And then just listen.
Yeah. What are you cooking up tonight?
Some bacon, and then I'm gonna eat my wife makes these, it's like a lunch meat roll up, but it's from our local butcher, and it's like sriracha chicken with cheese wrapped around it, and it's wrapped in an egg white wrap with mustard on it, and I'm gonna eat that with bacon.
Yeah. Man, why do I gotta be Catholic?
Right?
It's Friday. I'm not eating meat. I mean, any other time in my life, I'd be like, oh,
Right.
screw it. But I've come this far. I'm like,
Right.
well,
Yeah, you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
I don't hold that against anybody, no matter what their beliefs are.
yeah.
It's truly theirs. I mean, I'm religious as well, very, very much so actually, but I'm not Catholic. I'm non-denominational Christian. So I just roll with whatever,
Yeah.
you know, whether you're Jewish, it doesn't matter to me, you know.
Yeah. I'm giving it a try. I've tried fasting before. It makes you feel like crap, but things do happen in your life. For some reason, like things will get better, or things that you've hoped for. It's like, whoa. It's like you open up doorways.
Yep. And the longer you do it, people start having all kinds of really, really positive experiences from it.
Unless you die.
Well, then there's that. Yeah.
Right.
Make sure you drink water.
Yeah, drink plenty of water. I do the fruit diet, where you just eat nothing but fruit. Where you fast and eat nothing but fruit. But still, it's like, man, I'm starving. I'm gonna die.
Yeah. Because it's nothing but, you know, that is, if you're going to ingest sugar, that is the best. That and honey. You know what I mean? If you're going to do it. But Like that sweetener for my coffee, that's all Hmong fruit, you know, and it's sugar free, and it's some of the best stuff for you because it's derived from a leaf of the stevia plant. So
a lot of things from the Bible sound ridiculous, but then like when you go through hard things in your life and you talk to psychiatrists, therapists, or whatever, they talk about that same stuff. Like you need to do this, and it's like, well, that's exactly what they did back then.
Yes,
maybe they knew something. It's
all about getting back to nature, and they say that's why it's important for you to take your shoes off and walk out on the ground, like what that one guy, Cody Lundstein, I think his name was, that was with that other guy that used to be on that. Was it Survivor Man show? I don't know what show it was, but anyway, he always, everything he did, he never wore shoes.
Really?
He was always walking barefoot.
You like reconnect with nature.
Well, that and with the earth. He felt that, and he was, you know, Native American and I think some other European descent. But that's what he believed. He believed that you have to stay connected to the earth, and you do that by not wearing shoes.
Yeah, I've heard squatchers do that. Sasquatch researchers.
Well, you can sure remain quiet that way. When you got shoes on, you're loud. When you take those shoes off, that's a different story.
Oh, yeah.
But me, I'm old Joe Tenderfoot. I'd be out there crying and bitching. They'd know right where I was at because I'd be complaining about how bad my feet hurt.
Yeah.
Because they're not calloused up, you know. Yeah. You needed to get them like the pat of a foot of a dog or, you know, something like that to get the true benefit of being barefooted.
Right.
Yeah, they say people that truly go barefooted all the time, they can literally walk on glass and it doesn't bother them at all.
Walk on hot coals.
Yeah, I have seen that, yeah. Whole bunch of Indian ceremonies. Me and my brother used to do it when we were kids.
Yeah.
We were 11, 12 years old. We'd throw fire at each other. You know, our friends thought we were crazy, but we'd pick up coals out of the fire, you know, and we'd throw them back and forth. And as long as you catch them and move them fast and throw them back, they won't burn you. But boy, if you dwell, yeah, you've got a blister on you.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. Mind over matter.
Yes, yes. I'm wondering. I mean, you can hear a car out on the gravel road. That's probably 4 miles away. That's how clear and how quiet it is out here. There's a dog over here.
Yeah, you can hear all the noises from all around.
All around you.
Yeah, okay,
yeah.
Cool. You hear that?
What was that?
I don't know.
That was those coyotes. Here they go. It's the coyotes.
They're
sounding off.
Yeah. It is.
Uh-huh. Grab my beer.
Those dogs know something's around.
Oh, yes, they do. Yep. They're my indicators.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. Miguel, I think that's why they hate dogs, because they're so keen to their surroundings. I think Sasquatch hates dogs. Just
I'm sure.
Absolutely cannot stand them. Listening to some of the things he was saying, that stuff that he filmed back in 1971 was frightening. I'm telling you, if I was in the woods and that thing made that kind of noise, I'd have been getting on the back of one of those horses and leaving.
Yeah.
I would have left that place immediately.
He said his daughter ended up seeing one.
Yeah. But that chatter and that like samurai and that, you know, that I can't even duplicate. It's like, rah, 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 rah. It was just like aggressive. And I mean, it was mad. And I'm like, oh no. You're 8 miles in the middle of the forest. There's nothing around, you know. And luckily, I mean, if they wanted to hurt him, they would have hurt him, obviously.
I wonder what else they heard before they actually got the recorder on.
That's what I've always wondered. Yeah, because he went out there with that one guy, Al Berry, and Al was, you know, he said later on, many years later, they didn't know it at the time, but he was actually watching them and seeing if they were like cheating if they were like, you know, if they were, what's the word I'm looking for? If they were trying to fool people, you know what I'm saying? And he's like, no, you know, they come to find out years later that he was actually there investigating them to see if they were hoaxing people. And he found out real quick that they weren't.
Yeah. They say that guy that was in the Navy, that linguistics expert that looked over the Sierra sounds, he's from Kansas City, Missouri. The guy with the funny looking stash.
Nelson.
Yeah, he's actually from Missouri.
Really?
Yeah, he lives around here.
Oh, wow.
I was like, I got to contact him.
Yeah, that guy's got a lot of background.
Yeah, he's very intelligent. I'd like for him to look over some of the sounds that I got. It's nothing compared to what Ron Moorhead got, but there's some strange things I got here and there. What's that light? There was a light over there in that field.
Really?
Yeah. Just right over there where we were at the bone pile.
There's no light over there.
No. Okay, kind of pan around. Like to your right, left. Do you see that?
I see something.
Yeah. Like walk over here. You see that? Is that somebody's house?
There's no house over there.
Yeah, let me see if I can get it on camera.
Oh, I do see it now, really good.
Yeah. Gotta look around.
Well, we'll just keep an eye on it through the night. And if it moves or turns off.
That's right there at that bone pile too.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Because that hill kind of goes up and it's ginormous. I mean, you can't see over that hump where the bones were, and right there we're seeing a light. Maybe it's somebody's
It could be somebody's yard light, yeah. But like I said, I never go that far, you know. I've not ventured over that far on top of that hill to see if there's anything over there, you know.
Yeah.
There's any number of things that could, oh, I just seen it move. Now I see what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay. That wasn't the same thing. There's something over there. There's a light over there moving around.
Yeah, it was bright there for a while. Like
I just seen it. I thought
I saw it move.
It went up. It went up the hill. Like, I just watched it go up the hill.
See, I thought I was seeing it move too.
Now I see that stationary one. I see a stationary light, but I don't see the other one. It's like someone's over there and they turned the light off.
That's what I was thinking. Maybe they heard us over there, going to check it out.
Yeah,
they heard the knocks that I did with the bones. I don't see it anymore.
I know.
And I'm up here.
I don't either.
Really? I told you predators might go check that out. If it's the Squatch or some type of cryptid, the orbs are associated with them, so maybe that's what it is.
We'll just keep an eye on it.
Yeah.
I think these briquettes are about ready. I'm gonna stoke this fire up. Ooh, that's hot.
I like that little Weber grill.
Oh man, that is cool. Yeah, I love it.
The Kelly kettle system.
Uh-huh.
I think it's cool.
Yep.
I'm gonna have to get me one of those.
That thing is far out.
Good old bacon.
Yum, yum.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I haven't heard geese out here. I've never heard a goose out here. That's the first time.
Yeah. Those cattle make pretty weird noises too.
I'll tell you what, when they get hungry, oh my God, those things, they make all kinds of racket.
Yeah.
I mean, they get downright just indignant. They're pissed till they got that food.
Mm-hmm.
But you can tell they're not in this field over here because there's not a noise from a cow.
Yeah.
You know, and if they were over there, they'd be making noise right now. Because I guarantee you, they're somewhere over there screaming at the owner to feed them.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I guess that's somebody's yard lamp or something. I'm not sure. But
I have no idea. I've never noticed it before, but what you were talking about, I seen, and it's still there. But I seen what you were talking about, that light that moved up the hill.
yeah, I thought
And,
I saw
and
it
then it
moving.
shut off. I was like, okay, what is that?
Yeah, I think that light's a little bit different. Yeah, I saw one a little bit lower to the ground.
Trying not to let it fry too hard.
Yeah.
That fire is really, really hot. I'm gonna have to put that bacon grease up somewhere tonight after we get done.
Mm-hmm.
I love cooking with bacon grease, dude.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was just telling Sean that I've noticed a lot less stars this year in the sky, and normally in the wintertime you can see a lot of stars out. The skies are really clear, but it talks about in Revelations that the stars will start to disappear. And you said you've heard from people that they've noticed that too?
Yeah, that and that, you're like you had inquired if it's like the end of time thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I've heard a lot of people talking about it time and time again.
Yeah.
And it's weird because you don't, I've never heard that many people talk about it that often.
Yeah, there's just like a lot less stars. I don't know where they're all going.
That's strange.
I'm sure somebody has a scientific explanation for it without actually knowing what's really going on.
Well, yeah, they pay them to tell you so.
Right. It also talks about how Israel will be at war and all the other countries will surround them.
Right.
Like 2/3 of the Jews will die. But who knows? It could just be coincidence all this stuff is happening, but it seems to be lining up with the prophecies.
Well, yeah, and that many people talking about it, that's what's really got a lot of people alarmed, is everybody's seeing something that they haven't seen before, and it's getting a lot of people's attention, and it should, I mean, it's definitely got my attention.
The cryptids, that's another thing too, like how many people are seeing these creatures and the crafts in the sky.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. A lot of people aren't seeing it, but they're also not outdoorsy or not into looking at stars.
Yep.
You can't say it don't exist if you're not out there.
If you're not outside, right. Yeah. It's that old saying with politics, too. You can't bitch about the politics if you're not going to vote.
Right, yeah.
You're not allowed to talk.
But with like how far we are out here, you should be able to see a lot more stars.
Well, this bacon's getting done quick.
It's like we're in the city, but in reality we're miles and miles out of town. There's not even a lamplight out here.
No, other than the dust of dawn lights that I got around the cabin.
Yeah, but that's not enough to
blot
out the stars.
I bet you the smell of this bacon brings something in.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Huh, I know it has before.
Oh yeah, I've heard that from numerous people.
Well, with that experience out there at my other property that I recorded, yeah, it was after I was cooking bacon and breakfast. So I know it's a thing.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Miguel, we're getting ready to see the screen. He's getting ready to put the call on. We're going to see if we can get some kind of response by blasting the call a little bit. So I'm going to get quiet and I'm going to let him turn this thing on.
All right, let's start off with the coyote locator.
God, dude, that is loud.
Yeah.
Wow.
Let's turn on your mic.
Let's just sit here for a minute. Dude, that is cool.
Yeah, that is cool. Sounds pretty wicked.
I mean, that sounds like, yeah, that is unbelievable.
I say we get that parabolic and go up to the top of the hill and see what we can
see what we can hear.
Yeah.
Oh, and leave it down here.
Yeah, we'll see if the remote can.
Will the remote reach that far, you think?
I think so. It's got this antenna on there.
Oh, wow. Yeah, let's do that. We're going to go up to the top of the hill, folks. I'll turn it back on here in a minute.
I think so. We'll just have to make sure that we don't step on a copperhead as we make our way up the hill, because we get bit out here, it's going to take a while to get to the hospital.
Well, thankfully I got it. Maybe I should go first because I got real tall leather high-sided boots on.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So
It's up to you.
Go in front.
Okay. I'm going to grab the parabolic.
Where's it at?
Right over
Can
here.
you see it?
Yeah.
You want me to grab it? Did you turn the call on?
Not yet. Do you hear that?
There's coyotes over here.
What is that?
They're probably going to come in because they heard that. There was a coyote over here.
Yeah, that's crazy. Do you hear anything walking around out there?
I don't hear anything. I'm just catching the coyotes. And they sound like they're about half a mile away.
All right, we'll try the game call.
Yeah.
See what happens. Dude, it's picking up and we're like 75 yards away, would you say?
Maybe even 100.
Yeah.
There's something in this field.
I can kind of hear it moving around.
Something's over there.
Yeah. Definitely got those dogs' attention.
Yeah.
Try and be quiet, sorry.
Mm-hmm. I bet they're coming across that field. You know it?
Mm. Oh, I think so.
Yeah, across the...
They should be making their way towards us.
There's something over here. I got movement down here.